This is not about becoming an influencer or chasing the latest trend. This is operator-level training. We're going to break down how attention actually works in a real business system. And more importantly, how we turn that attention into predictable, repeatable outcomes. Okay, let's get into it. So let's just start with the big question, the one that everyone is kind of thinking, but maybe is afraid to ask out loud, especially after you've spent hours creating a piece of content. Does any of this stuff, the posting, the reels, the stories, does it actually sell anything? And the short, blunt answer? No, it really doesn't. And I know that might sound a little crazy, but stick with me. Because if you can understand why it doesn't sell directly, you'll suddenly understand how this entire system works together. And that brings us right into our first section. If social media isn't there to close the sale, then what on earth is it for? Well, its job is to be the doorway. It is the very first step in a much, much bigger process. I want you to think of it this way. Social media has one main job, and that is to create attention. That's it. It doesn't close the deal, it's not going to process a credit card, it doesn't handle customer objections. Its only job is to capture the raw material, the attention that we need to feed the rest of the business system. Without it, the whole system just starves. And this slide right here, this lays out the consequences perfectly. It's just a simple domino effect, right? If you've got no attention, well, then you're going to get no clicks to your website or your profile. No clicks means you're generating 0 leads. And you guessed it, no leads means no sales conversations and no sales. It all starts at the top with attention. Which is why, and this is my fantastic joke for the day, if a business posts once every 6 months and then just vanishes, well, congrats. You're a ghost. You just don't exist in your customer's mind. Inconsistency makes you totally invisible, and an invisible business has no attention to feed that system we just talked about. You know, I absolutely love this quote from Dan Martell because it frames the idea perfectly. Your content is your sales team. It's your 24/7, round-the-clock team that's out there warming people up, building that initial layer of trust, and answering basic questions before a human ever has to get involved. It pre-sells the trust for you. So if our content is our sales team, what are we actually asking it to do? What are its marching orders? Let's jump into section 2 and see how this all builds. We're going to break down the 3 very specific, very tactical jobs of any piece of social media content. Every single post, every story, every video you create has these 3 core jobs. Job number 1, stop the mindless scroll. Seriously, if you can't do that, nothing else you do even matters. Job 2, create familiarity. People do business with brands they recognize, with brands they feel comfortable with. And job 3, build a very basic layer of trust, just by showing up consistently and being clear. And let's be super clear about this. This is a game of consistency and clarity. It is not about chasing trends or desperately hoping that one viral video is going to magically save a struggling business. That's lottery ticket thinking. We're operators. We build predictable systems. So how does this actually play out on the different platforms? Well, let's take a look. On Instagram, the main focus is on building trust and showing off social proof, and you're mostly going to do that with reels and stories. Over on Facebook, that's your foundation for building a community, and it's a rock-solid platform for ads using pages and groups. TikTok, that's all about grabbing fast attention and testing new ideas really, really quickly through repetition. And then there's YouTube. That's where you go to build deep, long-form authority with educational content that lasts forever. The platform might change, sure, but the core message has to stay the same. Now, this brings us to a really crucial distinction. Organic content versus paid ads. Organic is your foundation. It's the slow burn. It works over time to build real trust and establish your legitimacy. It's the baseline. Ads, on the other hand, they're your accelerator. They create controlled, fast exposure, and they amplify the messages that you already know are connecting with people. They basically remove the randomness from the equation. So, if your current ad strategy is what I like to call boost and pray, then yeah, we probably need to talk. Because ads don't fix bad messaging. They just make you pay more money to show more people that your messaging is broken. And this is exactly why scheduling your content is completely non-negotiable for an operator. It takes the emotion out of it. You don't wake up wondering, what should I post today? It removes inconsistency, it protects your momentum, and most importantly, it prevents burnout. You make the decisions once a week so you can execute every single day without the fatigue. Okay, so now that we get the job of media, let's zoom out a little bit. How does it fit into the bigger picture, into the AdVantage system? This is where everything we've just talked about finally connects to the bottom line. The system flows in a really specific order. Media is always step one. Its job is to warm up a cold audience. Then someone who's curious will go to the website to kind of close that trust gap and see if the business is legit. And finally, once that trust is established, the sales process can actually step in and convert that interest into a final decision. You see? Each step makes the next one possible. You should think of your social media presence as the front window of a retail store. I mean, if that window display is messy or it's outdated or just empty, nobody's coming inside. It doesn't matter how great your products are inside or how good your salespeople are. If that first impression is sloppy, everything that comes after it is gonna suffer. And that right there is the key takeaway. This is one connected system. It's not just a random collection of tasks you have to do. When your media is strong, when it's consistent and clear, your website converts better and your sales conversations become infinitely easier. Okay, let's bring it all home with the final framing. This is the high-level mindset, the big picture idea you need to carry with you as an operator moving forward. Here are the 3 key principles to burn into your brain. Number 1, media is leverage. It allows one person's effort to reach thousands. 2, attention is rented, not owned. You have to show up and earn it every single day. And 3, systems are what turn that rented attention into real, tangible business outcomes. And this all comes down to adopting the operator mindset. We use media as a strategic tool, a tool to create predictable results for a business. We are not here to chase personal fame. We are not trying to go viral. And we are not influencers. We are builders. We build systems. Because at the end of the day, this whole thing isn't about being famous. It's about being effective. And when you run the system correctly, effectiveness is exactly what you get.